Babaradabaha appear in my life, Obi Cubana. Yes. I'm a magician. Ladies and gentlemen, the world famous Obi Iyegbu. Did I get the pronunciation? Obi Iyegbu.
Yes, Obi Iyegbu.
Ladies and gentlemen, man like no other. Philanthropist, entrepreneur. In fact, my wife's future governor, you are looking at the future Anambra State governor right here sitting in front of you. Eh?
No. Please. My in-law, let's start with this. Biko, I beg you in the name of God. You know,
you are not interested in being governor.
I am not interested in politics in my life. Please. Can you rewind? Please, can you remove that particular can you remove that word? Before I go run away.
It's not
please.
Listen, even Christ said it. He said, the man that can manage small, more will be given to him. We have seen you manage business. So I'm sorry, I apologize. Let me not go on. Because I have zero interest in politics.
Zero, please. Not at all interested. Let's talk about being my brother's keeper and worship by giving. I am not interested. I'm not president. I'm not future governor. I have no ambition, zero interest whatsoever. Please, I am the governor. I am the governor of Cubana Empire. That one is enough. Okay.
Do you have a candidate you support? And because there's no way you have this influence and this that you don't have a candidate to support.
I have just one vote. One vote. You understand? At any election, even me and my wife, we don't discuss it to support because it's supposed to be something you do. It's a personal decision. You understand? Even my staff and everything, they are in their thousands. I have never goaded them. I've never carried their minds towards any particular. I don't have. Please, let's leave politics, my brother. Let's talk about.
All right.
About being my brother's keeper. I think that's what is in my head today.
Let's talk about Obi Cubana, the notorious giver. If giving could be regarded with notoriety, I think we have the greatest accused, or one of the greatest accused in Nigeria today. You know, we have seen you grow. And the biggest issue with people that grow is they usually grow alone and then they feed the ones under them. You, on the other hand, I have noticed that all your boys are billionaires. First of all, let me ask you, do you have any poor friends? Maybe except for me, Sha. Because you never enter the market. Oh, I'm also available for receiving. Oh, not be only means I don't want to do live for the rest of my life. Make myself own one small Cubana for one side. They collect from
I think the word poverty is a state of mind. Yeah? I think it's a state of mind because there are people who are stickingly wealthy and rich. And yet the way they go after what belongs to somebody else, the person is really poor. So what do you mean by poor friends? If you are contented with your one-bedroom flat and it's serviceable, you have your, I pass my neighbor, you have your small borehole, and you sleep peacefully. Peacefully, if you can sleep peacefully, you are very rich. If you stay 365 days in a year and you don't spend 6 months, 180 days in the hospital, you are super rich. Woo! You are rich. So I don't know what you mean by poor. All my friends, all my staff, all my associates, all my siblings, everybody I come across in this life, they are rich. Rich as a rich state of mind. That's what matters to me.
That's what matters. But now let's narrow the state of mind to finances. I have
finances.
thought of the people who are around you are entrepreneurs themselves and are doing quite well.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, do you lift people up, or you generally are gravitating towards people who have the same tendencies as you have? Because it just look at, and from your mother's funeral where everybody came loaded, it was like, that's in my life, I must do something back. I must offend this guy with my giving. One person came with 40-something cows. I saw more cows than in a ranch. So please tell us about your motto with regards to growing with the people around you, because you can't hide that from us. It is so obvious that you are pulling people up. As you are going, you are pulling people from the ground, putting them on your shoulder, putting them on your back, some you are carrying on your head, and they are all not just grateful, they appreciate what you've done for them. So let's talk about that part of giving, because I want us to dissect giving today. Giving religiously, giving to the poor, giving to your friends, and the most important giving, as far as I'm concerned, is pulling people up giving. So let's talk about that. How does that happen in your world, Cubana?
Okay. I think I've done quite a couple of, I rarely come on live, but because of the respect I have for you, when this issue come up, because I saw something, we get to something, I will tell you why I agreed to this, okay? Now, I have learned and I've practiced, and it has manifested to me that no single tree can ever make a forest. And in trying to pull up people, you are not losing your wealth. Rather, you are adding to your own riches and wealth. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So,
yeah.
And I've always said it also in different fora that the best investment is in human beings, humanity. Not because of what they're going to reap, not because of the physical benefits, not because of the financial repayment. You don't do anything for human being believing to be paid back, believing to be seen. Yes, if you are seen, maybe to motivate people that actually you can still do this. Okay? You can silently do a lot of things, build people, because last, nobody will carry anything, go heaven or hell. Okay? So, Christ, the greatest teachings in life is about love. Love to Lord your God, love to man. And what is love? I can't tell you I love you, and my freezer is stacked, and you can't feed, and I'll be professing love with mouth. You don't say I love you. You show I love you. You show by your actions. Okay? So it is something you don't even know when you do. You understand what? Let me tell you something, please. Something happened this week. This is Saturday. Yes, it was in the week. I was reading a story today, this morning at Punch newspaper, about one interview. I'm sure you saw that story. Did you see one boy at that Ajah Road?
That little prisoner, that little boy who was hawking water and counted his profits and shared with the prisoners.
God bless you.
Yeah.
You know the video, I saw the videos 2 days ago, but this morning when I woke up, I saw Punch uploaded an interview. Yeah? And the guy said he came to Lagos December. He entered the street. Okay, me and you know that the profit on each bottle water is not more than 10,000. 10 naira. 10 naira. Okay? Now, we saw the guy. You see, I took my time to look at that video. To see whether it was cooked. Don't listen to me. But this is one of the realest videos I've seen, because The guy saw somebody doing something, wound down the glass. The person who made the video.
Yes.
The prisoners being there at that point was accidental. The person who took out his camera was accidental. This guy turned his back. He never knew he was being videoed. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So,
yes.
He was given 100 naira until he exhausted the 100 nairas he had on him, according to what he said. What am I trying to say? Going further to his family, this guy said he came from a family that is poorer than poor. Not poor. He said that their own is not about poverty. It is, they are poorer than poor. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, he did not need to be rich to help. At that point, what was it? Or he said was humanity. Helping humanity. At this point, I'm standing on this road, under this scorching sun, carrying this weight, selling, I don't even know how many profits. I am way better than these people inside a cage, a moving cage. You see? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And
yes.
when I read the comments, people were asking account number. Okay? But please, you will do me one favor. I think that guy said he dropped out from Ebony University. Yeah? That guy needs to go back to school. Because he spoke very well. He listened to his English. And he wasn't thinking about saving money for himself for the academics. He wasn't thinking about, at that moment, he was carried away by the love for humanity.
Your humanity.
You understand what I'm trying to say? So, going forward, before we end, I will tell you what we have to do for that boy. So let's not be carried away by that one right now. Okay? So, what I'm trying to say that...
Of being number one.
By the time you love.
Hey! Now, so that boy don't take change now.
You see, people think that you give because you are rich. Never. It's not.
When I'm uploading this, Obi, when I'm uploading this video on YouTube, I will go and look for that boy's video and insert it. So that boy, wherever you are, start reaching out to me. Obi wants to help you, and if they say Obi want to help you, that means say your whole family dynamics don't change. You know what? Trajectory. If not like this, you they go before. Your life don't turn like this.
Yes. No. You see, this kind of people, you don't necessarily need to give them money, physical money, but you empower them, because for him to do what he did, imagine when he has. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you don't just need me. You don't see me doing giveaway. You don't see me dashing people money. But there are things that are beyond money.
Absolutely.
And that is what I am willing to offer that guy. His life has to change. His life has to change. Because he has touched somewhere in my soul, in my body.
Let's rewind a little. I want to go back to Obi Iegu before the Cubana. Let's talk a bit about your family background, university, how you started your first joint or your first business, and how you grew it to where it is now. And what lesson do you think people listening or watching this live can learn from that?
You know, my story should be another issue. It should be a book. In fact, my wife has been disturbing me. Obi, I need to write a book about you. People need to know who you are. People need to know this journey. But good thing, the people who knew me when I started this journey in a small garden called New Garden, NOO Garden, in Gariki, Area 7, Abuja here, opposite Gariki Hospital by UTC. Some of them who were first-time bankers dealt in Standard Trust Bank. There was a bank called Standard Trust Bank, which is now UBA.
Your audio has gone, oh. Hey, your audio has gone, oh. We've lost Obi Cubana.
No, I think a call was coming.
Okay. back. You're
Okay.
back. You were talking about Standard Trust that became
Yes, Standard Trust Bank used to be at the back of that our joint then. So that's where we used to go and go. Then there was no mobile phone, there was no transfer, everything was physical. So you go and deposit, you fill teller, they give you your balance. You look at your balance, maybe you deposit 5,000 or 3,000. They will see previous balance 16,000, current deposit 3,000, total 19,000. You will leave. You understand? So what I'm trying to say that my story, most of those people that were my friends at that point are now directors in banks, are now, people have grown. That's over 20 years now. So I didn't start as Cubana, never. Cubana is just like 13 years now. Can you hear me?
Clearly. So what did you start?
So prior, it's called New Garden. It's a garden. Before Ibiza. Ibiza is like 16 years now because 2006 we opened that one. Okay. Before Cubana, 2009. That's like 13 years now. Okay. Wow. So that's the story of my life in summary.
Now, when you first started, because you see this spirit of giving, I'm sure you did not imbibe it now. I'm sure it must have been from when you were much younger. Can you remember any selfless acts that you engaged in before you blew? Things people wonder that, wow, how does this man have this kind of heart? Because everybody who seems to say something about Obi is a dangerous giver. Obi, dangerous giver. Normally when we hear dangerous giver in our society, what we think of, he dashes Daddy Gio money, he buys fuel for the aeroplane. But you see, I see your own kind of giving as different from the religious model that everybody is taught in Nigeria. I see it as a more direct giving into the hands of those who need it the most. You don't need to give it to the church to give it to the poor. Don't you have no poor people around you? Don't you see them? Don't you see people hungry? Like that boy who see some people in that moving cage and give them. You need to take money to the church for the church to be. Does your pastor drive in traffic to even see that kind of thing happening? Meanwhile, there are people in that bus. If that boy didn't give them that money, they probably would have starved that day. So let's talk about giving. I also know that you are also charitable towards Christianity. I believe you're Anglican by faith.
Yes, I am.
We saw a humongous Anglican church that you built. Tell us a bit about that.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think I did that because it was my mom's wish. You understand what I'm trying to say? She asked us to try to help the church to finish the church. And we argued because I told her I'd rather build hospitals and schools because the church we have, the main church we have, is not always filled up yet. But I think when they get back
let's clap for you. Let's clap for you. Wait. I said you don't want to be our governor. We don't force you to be governor.
I get what did I think?
Oh yeah, talk.
I think we need a day for this. We come back again some other time. So when I told her, I started saying that, okay, St. Paul's Anglican Church is not yet filled up. Let's be going there while I use these resources to do schools or hospitals or maternity home where people can. So, but what she said that, my son, you can do this one and still do those ones. You understand? So that's why I like Rusty. That place was done in a record 4 months plus. Because they started work 22nd of August and we commissioned where we worship there on 31st. We're still putting finishing touches. Okay? So that's it about that. Now, what you're talking about giving is, I'll give you an example. When I was in University of Nigeria, I used to have a little boy who I took as my little cousin. And I encouraged him. I said, you must go to school. He didn't want to go to school. We argued. He said he decided he wanted to go and do apprenticeship. He went to Lagos. He didn't work. He came back. I was my third or final year then. He came back and I said, you will go and take job, because the best equipment you need in this life is education. That's the best thing I'll give you in this life. So as a student then, as a student in final year, political science, University of Nigeria, Soka, as a 1998, I was paying his school fees and WAEC fees. Doing youth service, but I saw him through school as a student. So I didn't have, before I started that. You understand what I'm trying to say? My first son, Alex, the mother cannot pass, you know, like in Abuja, when you stop by traffic, I see all those boys that carry plates and lean on your window like this. If you must give them money or pizza or anything you have that is edible, you must. Otherwise, he will not eat for the next 2 days. And he doesn't have 1 naira. So now I'm trying to tell you that giving is not just about being rich. It's a thing of the mind. Okay? Okay. So that's it.
Awesome. I know you are in a hurry to go somewhere. This could have lasted the whole day. The gist is too much. Let us end real quick. At least it would be hypocritical of me, and I'm sure of everybody listening, to say we didn't read it in the news that you were invited by, at one point, the EFCC, and I even discussed that in a live video on my own, and also the NDLEA. In your own words, can you just explain what is going on?
Wow. My bro, I think in growth, in life, people must face certain challenges in life. I am facing mine right now. But I think the most painful of them, you see, I was in detention for 4 days and 3 nights. I didn't feel bad, because I knew that the agency will do a thorough job, and if I am cleared, I'll be let to go. There was no witch hunting. Nobody was after me.
So you believe, hope that the EFCC will do their job well?
They are a professional agency, I'm sure. I'm very sure. I have no doubt whatsoever. But to link me to drug, I've never felt so low. As in, I wasn't linked, let us say that certain figure.
Sorry, take that again. Paul cut your audio. Paul cut your audio. So take that again. You were saying that you were not linked.
Never. But my own is that anything that has to do with narcotics, with drugs, I mean, to me, it's repulsive. It's something I have made a covenant with my God, with my children, with my unborn generation, that I will never support, I will never invest, I will never be part of it, I will never, and I still make the covenant before God and before everybody in this life. So that was the only thing that could say, that's the thought of even that invitation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Clearly.
Because this is something we fight every day. This is something that destroys generation. This is something that my children can be victim of. So no sane human being, no human being that has brain. I wasn't accused though. I was never linked to anything, but they said that somebody paid money into my account, which I believe that the agency in question also is a very, very responsible one. And I know that at the end of the day, whenever they are done with the investigation, it will be made public to the public. And that's the much I want to talk about it, please. It's a sad phase I don't want to go or discuss, but I just want to say it, and then let's talk about giving.
Let's talk about giving. So, ladies and gentlemen, like you heard from Cubana himself, we all respect the EFCC and the NDLEA and believe they're thorough organizations and believe that they will handle their investigations thoroughly and make whatever is investigated known to the public. So we thank them for that and look forward to that. Now let's get back to giving. 2022 is a brand new year. We just begin the year. I know you have a wedding, so this is like more like your parting note as you are going. What act of do you want to shock Nigeria with? I know that boy already. I don't see that boy future. I don't see that boy cross-leg for office already. That boy where they share pure water. I don't imagine.
No, the boy.
Where he
No, the boy. You see, we have to do first things first. Like what I want to do is that I want you to track down the boy, and I'm offering him a lifetime.
Into my DM, any link to that boy into my DM now. I'm going to go as far as sending punch. I have them on my speed dial. We will look for.
Get him so that he has to go to school, because I think that is his ambition. He has to go to school. I will see him through the university, and if he wants to do masters abroad, anything, I'll make sure he's comfortable while going to school, because like I said earlier, that is the best arm. When you see, when you want to go to war,
go for me, make a dance for Peking. We don't have. He wants to go and do masters. You don't get.
He will do university, anything he wants. It's not a problem. And then, by God's grace, I know I'll still be standing by the time he's done with school. He has a place in any of my organizations at the top level. And if by God's grace he finds a higher calling, you see, there's nothing tied to this. Nothing. I don't expect anything in return. I'm not giving any conditions for this. But if he chooses not to go back to school, we can now hear what he wants to do, and then we see him through that. The most important thing is to know that he has seen in me, he has in me a mentor, he has in me a life guide. Somebody guide him through this rough place called world. Okay? I'll make it easy for him through God. So I believe that God will give me the health and the strength. Okay, and my wife is, I'm sure she's following this program. She's listening to me, so nobody will say that I made a mistake. I have more water in my mouth. I know what I've said, and I know what I am saying. So my own is that the guy will go to any university of his choice in good condition, not just to pay school fees. When I say good condition, you understand what I mean? Because he has a heart of God. This is the kind of people we need to be. I even want to, in fact, I pray that people will even want to do eye service to get my attention. Let them do this kind of thing. When doing that, you don't know when you get used to it, the world become a better place. You understand?
Amen. Amen. Those are very clear. They say, he who does not love does not know God. If you cannot love, you can pray from morning till night. You can build 7 churches. In fact, your bedroom might be behind an altar. But
you don't go church now. Come, look, we thought you want to sign us. That the fees, please. You don't carry me to that. Please.
I want to wait. Say, even me.
I am good. I am flying. Don't worry. They don't follow you play. Instead of building church, yes, I understand.
Do you know that if all our big geos in Nigeria, if they thought like that, Nigeria has the biggest churches in the world, and we don't have an Ivy League university. We have the biggest churches in the world, and we don't have a world standard hospital. New York alone gets 2 or 3 world standard hospitals. The UK gets enough world standard hospitals. We don't have one in this whole country. So we need more people, not just to give like you, but to think like you. Ladies and gentlemen,
I understand you.
Obi Cubana.
I understand you. You see, my own is that everything we do in life is something that should be worthy of emulation. And that's why, if you read my write-ups every Monday, I take out time to write between Friday and Monday and put it up here. It is to people learn. You see the comments, people learn. You see, that's why it's good that whoever is going to teach should teach right. Because you don't know who and who are looking up to you. You don't know who and who you are influencing. You don't know who and who you are copying you. If you have up to 100,000 followers, you know what's it mean for 100,000 people to follow you? 100,000. A full capacity stadium is 60,000. 60,000. And you know when they roar, there's a goal. You know the kind of noise that comes out of a stadium. So you can know what is 100,000 people. So whatever we do on this social media should be something that generation, because we can't come and destroy this world and live. We made it good. We should make it better before we leave. Okay? So anything we do is, so I pray that every hawker today should start looking for Black Maria. Let them give them their money. Somebody else might take it from there. Me, I've done my own bit. I'm sure people will still give that guy money. God, in his infinite mercies, will also bless the guy because he sees through his heart. Okay? So I pray that people will do eye service to be seen, so that the things that Obi Cubana will talk about them. I pray so. In doing that, they are making the world a better place without knowing that.
A better place.
The greatest sacrifice is in giving. The 2 principles of everything God, Christ teaching is love. Love. Love for God and love for man. And that is what is my guiding principle in this life.
And do you know love for man is more important than love for God? Because if you can't love man that you have seen, how do you
can't love God that you cannot see?
And not see. And that's the Bible talk him. So you are worshiping God not by praying, but by giving. Giving is an act of worship.
It is.
If you are too busy to pray, give. If you are too weak to fast, give. Or not still worshiping God. Sometimes you want to give. You can help somebody, a sick person, wash their clothes. You can help a sick person pick up their children from school.
Even words of encouragement. It is well. It is well with you. Our people say, GCK, that means well done.
Well done.
It is enough. It is enough. It must be physical. It can be by encouragement. It can be praying silently for somebody who is going through. People go through hell. Silently praying for them is also an act of love. Instead of that pull down syndrome. That's
instead of let me ask you one question. Everybody knows Obi Cubana is generous, and it does have its disadvantages. I'm sure internet beggars will fool your DM. How do they cope with them?
I don't do giveaways. Have you noticed? I empower people. I don't share money on my page.
I cannot run to your house.
I'm not anybody. You see,
an idea.
You see, everybody will have their unique way of helping. There are people who do that. It goes a long way. It goes a long way because that 100K you give might feed a family for 1 month without you knowing that. Yes. But my own style is sustained empowerment, because if I give you 1 million today, it's a matter of time. It will finish. You will come back or you move to the next person. And you buy internet, MB, you load. You go again, you collect. But when you are empowered and you look at, you know, like when you are rearing a fowl from chicks, and every day you wake up, you go straight to your poultry, you look at them, you feed them, you give them water, you go to work. Once you come back, you look at them. As they're growing, your heart is gladdening. The heart is gladdening. So you look up to something, waking up and going to bed. So that is what we do. Before you go to bed, you think about this thing, and then you guide you. You don't see people have made mistakes. So even once you give them 10 million, 100 million, it will finish. No money does not finish in this world. There's no money that will not finish. Okay? But it's better that I guide you through and I teach you how to fish than giving you one basket of fish, because the fish at some point will finish. You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
Forget it. How the guy they take whistle and whistle.
No,
Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the people himself.
Thank God. You know, you see what you told me, let's come and do live one more. I fear because your English no day here. So I was saying, which kind, what I go tell this man today?
You know, my English no get power reach your giving. So if I
no.
Take strike me, everybody go say that freeze. See, they have warned you. So make I just gently maintain myself. And
you see, and in teaching, you keep it simple, so it will enter. So you kept it as simple as possible, and I'm sure it entered a lot of heads today. You see now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still looking for that lovely gentleman who gave out that money in traffic, who gave those prisoners that money. We're looking for him. Daddy Freeze and Obi Cubana, they find you. If now you DM me now, call me, WhatsApp me, bug me. I don't want to make you say, I know the guy. Now you're no, we want the guy go. We want change.
No, the guy, his video is there now. When we see him,
we know it.
By the special grace of God right now, with our position, we can put him in any university of his choice within this Nigeria. And if he does well and decides to further it abroad, he can go. If he decides to stop at this level and work and settle some of his immediate responsibilities, maybe get married, or if the choice lies entirely in his hands. And there's no condition whatsoever tied to this, whatsoever. Okay? So,
give and do not expect anything in return.
Yes,
That person will blow and come and remember you. It is still not giving. Giving is when you give and take away. So, Big Cubana, thank you for
the feast of the world.
Enjoy your wedding. My regards to your wife.
My beautiful wife, Lost baby. I'm sure she's watching.
Hi, little. Igbo man, you can even use Igbo to greet her. Let her know that, because you don't know me, I'm like this today because I have a good wife. When you
you're married to my sister. You're married to my sister now.
Problem to help other people. When you have a good wife, the world will benefit from you. When you have a bad, your primary assignment is sorting out your family issues. So use this opportunity to greet that woman that can contain you. That
Lush.
That stands.
Lush.
Encourages you. No matter trials or tribulations.
My apple now. The sauce in my Cubana fish. You see, she's my stress reliever. Okay, so you know when I get all this stress and come back home, once he does it like this on my head, I sleep. She's actually the best gift that God has given me in this life, and I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to God, and I love her with my life. So that's why when I tell her, chop this life. Now, you go chop this life, but I'm not gonna understand. Chop life can be corn. No, we're that simple. It can be corn.
Oh,
it can be roasted yam. It can be boneless. She loves boneless, but that is what we call chop life. I will go chop this life, tire. When we don't finish, when we don't old,
from. Where is she from?
Obosi and Oba neighboring. We are just almost like center Obosi.
Okay. Anambra like you.
Yeah, just the next town, and then next door you can drive from my house to her house.
Anambra wife, oh God,
no.
So
no. Highly recommended, though. Highly recommended. Very highly recommended. See you now. See us in the glow. Not my in-law, you be.
This the way you talk. The person will just come house. Everywhere go just be peaceful. Anambra women. I'm speaking from experience.
Yes, of course. Now I see as DJ Weekend.
Where you want to go again? This is how they continue. They go.
Of course, now.
Oh yeah, come they go your wedding. Oh yeah, make drive.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king of nightlife, dangerous giver, wonderful personality, Obi Cubana himself. That was an awesome interview. But I just had to drive him because he has very important occasions to attend, and yet he decided to grace this one.